to everyone. I'm Francesca Lombardo. I'm with my two colleagues, Francesco Zaffanella and Daniele Norbeato. We are representing AWA, the Water Basin Authority of the Oriental Alpes River District. And we are also responsible for the implementation of the Isonzo pilot. As water authority of a river district in our area of influence, which is approximately the northeast of Italy, we have many different river basins under our management, but we have decided to focus only one specific river basin for the Rexus project, which is the Isonzo catchment. Why this decision of focusing on the Isonzo? This is why the Isonzo River Basin is one of the most relevant examples in Italy of a transboundary river basin. In fact, as you can see from this map, the area of the catchment covers approximately for maybe more than half of the basin, the Slovenian part, and which is the upper part, the mountain part of the basin, where the let's say when the rainfall are produce the flow in the river, and then we have the let's say downstream part of the basin, which is a plain area, which fall in the Italian territory. So in this area we have very important activities, which are mostly the agriculture and the hydropower production, and both activity represent also a big pressure for the water bodies in the territory, and both activities have also a transboundary relevance. So for this reason, in this area, assessing the key nexus challenge is as a transboundary value and relevance. And for this reason, for the Isonzo River Basin, some bilateral agreement exists between Italy and Slovenia in order to facilitate the collaboration and the cooperation between the two countries. However, despite of these agreements, and despite also the new European framework related to water, which try to emphasize the importance of this cooperation, we found a bit difficult to share a common framework for managing the nexus issues at the basin level. For example, one of the most critical example for us as water authority is the flood management. The whole basin of the Isonzo River, both the Italian part, both the Slovenian, is very prone to flood. We have some area with high flood risk. But by the way, regarding the Italian part, we are totally dependent from the Slovenian one, because at the boundary between Italy and Slovenia on the Isonzo River, in the Slovenian part is located a big dam, which is the Salcano Dam, which has a big relevance also for the hydropower production, both in Italy and both in Slovenia. So there is also this in the let's say this dependence also regarding the hydropower production. But for what regards the flood, the important thing is that this dam from this dam depends the outlet of the Isonzo River in Italy, and so also the flood issues, or also the water in case when there is no flood, the water supply issues. So from this point of view, we need a visions of the basin in in big scale, including also the a synergy between the two countries. The key next challenges for the Isonzo River Basin for us are understand the status of the actual management of the basin, also in relation to the climate change. In particular, for us, it's important to provide the scenario useful to estimate the impact of climate change in the area in respect to the actual strategies in the different management plans, as well as a very important key point for us is to find and test a set of best solutions or best practices to guarantee the sustainability of our resources. And for example, in case of flood risk management, one best practice could be to try to have a transition from the classical grain infrastructure that are used to flood management to the natural-based solution approach. Another very critical point is to find a balance between the different uses of water, which are often in conflict one to the other, the different use between flood, food and energy. For example, a typical conflict which exists is the balance between the flood safety and the economic development, and consider also that it is equilibrium between different uses of water has to be done in a transboundary perspective, and also estimate the behavior of economy to help the local decision makers. So how Rexus can help us with these challenges? The first, we hope from the project that can help us to identify the barriers to the implementation of policy actions. In particular, one of the most relevant barriers is, as I told before, the fragmentation and the transboundary issues. Another very important point is to define water management strategies for the policymakers through the analysis of priorities, pressures, synergies, and trade-off. In particular, regards the energy production, the irrigation, and the flood risk reduction. Propose some water management strategies as a transboundary level. This is very important for us, for our plan, to provide tools to evaluate the effect of climate change and to estimate how we can affect the water, energy, and flood resources in the area and the flood management. Promote new natural-based solution approach and other best practice in the view of a sustainable development, and provide tools to evaluate the consistent service to support the management strategies. So after these short introductions about our pilot case, let's sum a bit our activities in the last 6 months. Firstly, regarding the stakeholder engagement, it is worth to be mentioned that AWA has already created strong synergies and productive collaboration with the stakeholder of the Isonzo River Basin, both Slovenian and both Italian, for example, in occasion on different projects in the area. One very important, we have currently active an interreg which is called WISFRIM with the Slovenian, and so this was a big opportunity for us to take contact with Slovenian stakeholder, and also in the context of our institutional activities, we have as our role the implementation of a flood risk management plan and the water management plan. One is the implementation of the flood directive, the other is implementation of the European Water Framework Directive, and both directive say that for the Isonzo River Basin, which is a transboundary river basin, a set of contact and cooperation between the two states. So in this sense, we have a relevant base to start working on.